Hey, welcome. We're gonna make a nice coffee. So here's what you need. You need a kettle. You need some type of cone. We're using a Kalita wave. You need a filter that fits that cone. And then you don't need this fancy rack, but you do need a cup underneath. So we have our nice compostable Clover cups here with our nice compostable Clover logo on it. And as far as ice, we fill it up to this little IC line. You can experiment. The keys to iced coffee are controlling all of the variables. So some of the variables we're working with are temperature of the water, the grind size of the coffee, and the speed of the drip, and the amount of ice. But that's what's going to affect the flavor. So you want really hot water. We use 205 degrees. You want finer grounds than a hot coffee. So ours is, it's about like beach sand, like nice fine sand. A lot coarser than a French press. It's, a lot finer than a French press and finer than hot. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to pour it slower with finer grounds, and it's going to come out more concentrated. And then when it hits the ice, it's going to melt the ice, and you're going to end up with about that much really strong, concentrated, delicious coffee. So then when you pour ice in to serve, it's going to be perfect. So we have our ice in our cup, and we're going to pour the grounds in. So this is the George Howell Monte Carlos from El Salvador, and we do 23 grams of this coffee. It's a really nice, rich, bold, chocolatey coffee. So we do a couple more grams of beans than the other coffees, which are a little bit more delicate. So you got your grounds in your cone. You got your really, really hot water, like kind of basically right off the boil. And you're dancing. Rob's dancing at me. And then you're going to start with the bloom. So we do 2 to 4 tablespoons of water straight down the middle. So I'm controlling the amount of water that's coming. It's not just gushing out and pouring into the grounds and splashing. And I'll narrate, but basically all of the gases that were trapped in the beans are like bubbling. So you can see it's like getting all fluffy. Kind of looks like a little fluffy pillow of coffee grounds. It's like a little burp once in a while. It's very cute. The goal is to get those gases in the cup. It makes it taste better. That's why if you buy coffee that was ground already, it's going to look like a puddle of mud when you put water in. It's not pretty. So after about 20 seconds, we're going to start our pour. So I'm not going to fill it up at all. I'm actually going to pour water in pretty slowly. And what I'm looking for is to control the speed of the drip. So there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So it's about as fast as it can drip without being a connected stream. And all the while, I'm kind of shaking it, letting the ice melt evenly. Iced coffee it's kind of a funky thing. You can't set it and forget it like hot coffee. I love iced coffee because it forces you to pay attention to it, and I think coffee deserves that. So we're kind of just constantly hitting it with water. It's kind of like a really needy flower. Or when we have like a bunch of them in the middle of the summer, it's like a game of whack-a-mole. You just basically go down the line and water and make sure they're all dripping at the right speed the whole time. It's a great way to exercise your wrist. You get nice and strong from holding the kettle. Summer at Clover on drink station is like your Edward Scissorhands. Like you have this is your right hand, and then like a dry rag is your left hand. And you're just pouring coffees, wiping coffee splashes. Pouring coffees, wiping coffee splashes. So I still have that nice drip. The ice is melting evenly. And we want to stop it right about at that same line where we started it. Now what we have is some nice, really rich looking coffee. So the 2 ways to know if all of your variables lined up are if you put your fingers behind it, kind of up to the sun, you can't see them. You want it opaque. And then we also want just the tiniest bit of ice knocking around in the glass. So you can feel it and you can hear it, but maybe you can't even see it. So that should be your perfect coffee. And then we top it off with ice. So there you go. There you go. She's beautiful. How's that?